Close Sports Pulse, USA Today Sports NFL insiders Jarrett Bell and Lindsey Jones detail what the Browns look to do at the top of the draft and who could move up and cause chaos. USA Today Sports What's one more mock draft? With the first round finally getting underway Thursday night at AT&T Stadium, USA Today Sports took one last look. Previously, Nate Davis projected Wyoming quarterback Josh Allen to be the #1 overall selection by the Cleveland Browns, though late-breaking developments cast that into doubt. So what happens if USC's Sam Darnold is the pick instead? Here's our final crack at how things might unfold. 1. Browns, Sam Darnold, QB, Southern California. This selection seemed like a foregone conclusion after his impressive pro day. Now, however, Terry's considerable question whether he or Allen, or possibly a wild card, will be the first one to have his name called. But it's hard to shake Darnold as the sensible pick, and one that best aligns with new general manager John Dorsey's plan for rebuilding this team. Though he still must cut down on turnovers and display the cleaned-up footwork he said he has fixed, Darnold could help set the right tone for Cleveland with his leadership and ability to create on the fly. 2. Giants, Saquon Barkley, Air Day, Penn State. The QB question seems to have faded in New York, and it's unclear whether GM Dave Gettleman would really pull the trigger to trade back, possibly the best prospect in the draft. Barkley should be an enticing option for a Giants team that already has more weapons than the average team drafting in the top 5. He should quickly become a focal point, along with Odell Beckham Jr., in Pat Shurmur's offense. 3. Jets, from Colts, Baker Mayfield, QB, Oklahoma. The Heisman Trophy winner is ready-made for the Jets, and not just because of his affinity for the spotlight. Mayfield's quick trigger and ability to throw into tight windows should serve him well on an offense short on supporting talent. It might take time to adjust to his freewheeling style, but New York's coaches can help harness his improvisational skills while making him a less frenetic player. 4. Browns, from Texans, Bradley Chubb, North Carolina State. With its pick of a quarterback and potentially the best defender in the draft, Cleveland will have no excuses if this long-anticipated draft class doesn't pan out. The steady Chubb should put Browns fans at ease, however, as it's difficult to find a weakness in his well-rounded game. 5. Broncos, Josh Allen, QB, Wyoming. Will John Elway step back into the batter's box and take another swing at a quarterback should the board fall his way? The strong-armed Allen might not be a perfect fit, especially given the disappointing stint of another physically talented but erratic first-round passer in Paxton Lynch. Although a trade with another team willing to go all in on Allen would make sense, Denver could bring him along at a slower pace thanks to the presence of Case Keenum. Josh Allen might be #1 pick of NFL draft, but has not among our top 40 prospects. Josh Allen hits back on his NFL draft critics. I am not an inaccurate quarterback. 6. Colts, from Jets, Quentin Nelson, Notre Dame. Indianapolis holes are so plentiful that it's difficult to peg any one prospect as a sure thing here. But general manager Chris Ballard should go with the clearest option in Nelson, one of the best prospects at his position in some time and a potential stabilizing force for a line that has failed to protect Andrew Luck sufficiently. 7. Buccaneers, Derwin James, Florida State. Tampa Bay should have its pick of the best options for a maligned secondary. The electric James could be just what the Dens needs, bringing a sense of accountability with his aggressive mindset. 8. Bears, Tremaine Edmonds, Virginia Tech. The Brian Urlacher comparisons are a little much for the 19-year-old Edmonds, whose instincts are still underdeveloped. Still, his rare build, 6'5", 253 pounds, and athleticism could provide defensive coordinator Vic Fangio a fascinating project. 9. 49ers, Roquan Smith, Georgia. The Niners likely won't have clarity on Reuben Foster's outlook by the time they're on the clock, yet Smith should be one of the top targets no matter what. A dependable playmaker and leader, has comfortable both chasing down ball carriers and dropping into coverage. 10. Raiders, Mike McGlinchey, Notre Dame. Defense is the primary need, and picking McGlinchey might constitute the draft's first big surprise. But left tackle Donald Penn turns 35 on Friday, and Oakland might be inclined to solidify its front after seeing a drop-off from the unit last year. More, Top 40 NFL Draft Prospect Rankings, who's best overall in 2018 class? 11. Dolphins, Denzel Ward, CB, Ohio State, a complete cornerback. Ward would be quite the gift if he fell out of the top 10. He has the fluid hips and quick reaction time to slow the Patriots' quick hit attack, but can also handle his own against top receivers on the outside. 12. Bills, from Bengals, Josh Rosen, QB, UCLA. Buffalo might pounce earlier and swing a trade if Rosen or another one of the top passers is within reach. Picking up the most pro-ready and polished of the quarterbacks in this slot, however, would be a welcome windfall. Rosen would have to overcome a dearth of weapons, but he represents the best chance at finding the franchise cornerstone that has been so evasive for the last 15 years. 13. Redskins, Vita Vea, DT, Washington. Vea and Washington are one of this draft's most sensible pairings. The 6'4", 347-pounder can step in at nose tackle and clog holes for the NFL's worst run defense. 14. Packers, Minkah Fitzpatrick, S. Alabama. Having one of the draft's top 3 defensive backs fall to this slot might be a dream for new general manager Brian Gutekunst. Fitzpatrick's versatility and coverage skills would provide immediate dividends for a short-handed Green Bay secondary. 15. Cardinals, Calvin Ridley, WR, Alabama. Quarterback could easily be a consideration for Arizona, but there are also pressing needs elsewhere. Adding Ridley would add some flair to the downfield passing attack and provide much-needed variety beyond Larry Fitzgerald. 16. Ravens, Marcus Davenport, Texas. San Antonio. Baltimore's veteran-heavy roster looks especially thin when it comes to a succession plan for Terrell Suggs. Davenport offers enormous upside off the edge and might be a fitting way for Ozzie Newsome to close his first-round record with the Ravens. 17. Chargers, Leighton Vander Esch, Pound, Boise State. Something has to be done about the front seven, as defensive ends Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram Jr. are in need of help. Vander Esch could add some flexibility to the group while still providing a much-needed hammer against the run. 18. Seahawks, Harold Landry, D/OLB, Boston College. Cornerback could also be a target here, but Pete Carroll likes a supercharged pass rush to set the tone for his defense. With Michael Bennett gone and Cleveland's future uncertain, Landry could bring much-needed energy off the edge. 19. Cowboys, DJ Moore, WR, Maryland. Jerry Jones said Tyrese no Des Bryant clone awaiting Dallas in the draft. Even so, Moore's sense for separation and picking up yards after the catch would serve Dak Prescott well. 20. Lions, Daron Payne, DT, Alabama. With the top pass rushers off the board, Detroit might take a different route to bolster its defensive line. The punishing Payne should command double teams and give Matt Patricia an asset in the interior. 21. Bengals, from Bills. Frank Ragnow, C, Arkansas. He might be something of a surprise as a first-rounder but would create a considerable push in the middle for a Cincinnati team with an ominous outlook at center. 22. Bills, Will Hernandez, G, Texas El Paso. No matter what Buffalo does at quarterback, the offensive line is in need of serious rebuilding. The 6'2", 327-pound Hernandez could put the run-heavy attack on point. 23. Patriots, from Rams, Colton Miller, UCLA. Needing a blindside protector for Tom Brady, Bill Belichick might take a gamble on the massive Miller, 6'9", 309. His footwork needs polishing, but he could blossom under the tutelage of offensive line coach Don Pescarnicchia. 24. Panthers, Josh Jackson, CB, Iowa. His ball skills might be the best in the class. Carolina needs to shore up the starting spot opposite James Bradbury. 25. Titans, Rashaan Evans, Pound, Alabama. Mike Vrabel should relish the chance to up a versatile and aggressive linebacker like Evans, who would also elevate the pass rush with his blitzing skills. 26. Falcons, Taven Bryan, DT, Florida. Atlanta could have multiple possibilities to address its biggest defensive deficiency. Paired with Grady Jarrett, the disruptive but inconsistent Bryan could prove to be a lot for NFC South quarterbacks to handle. 27. Saints, Lamar Jackson, QB, Louisville. This could be the floor for Jackson, who is shaping up to be a solid bet for the mid to late first round. Sean Payton said that he would have taken Patrick Mahomes last year had the Chiefs not beaten him to the punch. He should be excited by the prospect of being up a dynamic playmaker to be Drew Brees' successor. 28. Steelers, Justin Reed, S. Stanford. With no natural replacement for Ryan Shazier on the board, Pittsburgh instead turns to another glaring defensive hole by taking a versatile and physical safety. 29. Jaguars, Hayden Hurst, Tay, South Carolina. A sure-handed target like Hurst might be the best way to boost Blake Bortles given the unsteady nature of the receiving core and lack of top-line options out wide at this point. 30. Vikings, Isaiah Wynn, G. Georgia. The interior line is one of Minnesota's few remaining points of uncertainty, so adding Wynn would be a further step toward helping the offense realize its potential. 31. Patriots, Mason Rudolph, QB, Oklahoma State. Too early for a Tom Brady successor? New England should be in the market, and Rudolph could generate considerable interest as a fringe first-rounder. 32. Eagles, hire Alexander, CB, Louisville. Philadelphia could trade this pick to give itself additional options later in the draft, as it currently has no day 2 selections. Alexander is an instinctive corner, however, who could fill a need. Follow Michael Middlehurst Schwartz on Twitter, @MikeMSchwartz.